Back on this. So you had a dream last night.
I had a bad fever dream.
A fever dream? Oh, hold on. It's like you had a fever dream last night.
I mean, I didn't have a fever, but I call it a fever dream because it was frenzy.
Because it's a what the hell is happening right now?
So it wasn't that Sonya and Dolph were going to be dating.
Mm-hmm.
I had a dream that Otis.
Oh no! I bumped the internet. That's all.
Gave his Money in the Bank contract to Mandy, so that she could cash in on the SmackDown Women's title. And then once she won it, she turned the fuck on him and rejoined with Sonya.
That would be such a twist. I would. Wow.
Yeah, I had that fever dream last night. I'm like, I could see it. I don't wanna, but I could see it. Or like they went for the tag team titles. Like that's another way too. Like, but I don't know. It just I saw that in my mind's eye, and like Otis even helped her win and everything, and then it was just like Sunny turning on the Godwins. I'm like, oh no.
This is strange.
It comes across to me more as Goldust and Oksana. I'm right, Oksana. Wow, that's the first time I've gotten that name right.
Oh, I hear the saxophones now.
Oh yeah, the green card angle. Gotta love a green card angle.
Yeah, that angle's stupid. We're like, she just gets with him in order to get what she wants. That's more reminiscent of. You're right. It's more reminiscent of the green card angle. I hope they don't do that just because I don't like the idea of Otis is the type of person that can never get a happy ending, especially since he's such a bigger person. It's like in popular media, bigger people, like anybody that's not stereotypically pretty never gets a happy ending. Something like they can never have, like there's the lesbians never get a happy ending, fat people never get a happy ending. Just it's so popular in media. So knowing WWE just from past experiences, but like past storylines that they've done, I they're probably not going to let this Mandy and Otis thing last too long.
Well, especially since they started.
Yeah, I was about to say.
They got real.
Yeah, and I don't know if you've been watching the WWE as long as some of us have, but are you aware with the I don't know, the storyline preconceptions of one Vincent Kennedy McMahon and kind of like his track record over the past 40 years? Just wondering if maybe you watched any of the product, perhaps from the late 90s.
No, I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea.
I appreciate it too, because we always catch ourselves doing this. We'll be like, what a cool little, hey, if they take the story in this direction, that would be something really fresh and something WWE's never done before. And then you're like, wait a minute, when has WWE ever done something that it's never done before? Like, it's just is not part of their makeup to like suddenly, there's not like this light bulb's going to go up over this 80-year-old guy's head, and he's suddenly gonna be like, yeah, you know, I'm gonna give him a little twist here, you know?
So like that's why I'm concerned about Sonya not wearing the rainbow anymore. Because here's the thing. Vince McMahon for sure would not have enough forthright to think of, oh, let's remove that little detail from her costuming to foreshadow her joining up with Dolph, possibly starting a relationship with Dolph.
I think it's just because she's a heel, though.
But like, here's the thing: she wore rainbow when she was a heel before.
You know?
Yeah,
she wore rainbow when she was a heel before, though.
Yeah, but they weren't like super heels. Like right now, Sonya's kind of a super heel.
She wasn't like she wasn't like that's a person that I don't want to represent a movement kind of heel, right?
Yeah, she was teaming with Mandy, and they were like self-centered.
Yeah. It would be really bad for Seth Rollins to be in an anti-bullying campaign right now.
I mean, I see what you guys are coming from. I'm probably thinking too much into this. It's just I took the costume designing class, and like little details like that always like set up warning bells in my head of, oh, that can't be good. So for me, it's just a little warning bell of that's I'm hoping that you guys are right, and that it's just because she's a heel that they're not having her wear a rainbow. But at the same time, my ultimate worry is that it's both.
Yeah. I could see them doing that. I don't want to, but like I could also see Dolph trying that and her being like, you're not exactly my type.
I would laugh.
Like,
so
please.
It's like he just tosses his arm around Sonya. You know, I don't get what she sees in Otis. I mean, you think I'm attractive, right?
And it just comes around.
I'm just doing the thing where
like
Dolph thinks he's gonna hook
behind. I don't know.
I'm going to see if we do the thing where Dolph thinks he's going to hook up with Sonya the whole time until Sonya gets Dolph to do all the dirty work, and then he thinks he's going to hook up with her, and she's like, no, friend. That's not happening.
Like, you didn't see any of the gear I wore before all of this shit went down? You didn't see a single one of it?
Have you not
I mean, I thought you
on
were just...
social media?
It's like, I thought you were just a really good ally. Oh, honey.
I'm the best ally.
All right. We got to start the show before we work out all our good material.
We're just going to have to recycle this entire conversation.
Yes.
It's okay. Yes. That's what WWE's been doing for 2 months now.
Oh.
Hey. Here we go. The Wilted Rose, is that it? Is that
unwilting?
Unwilting Rose, that's right. I haven't heard it repeatedly on commentary yet to sink in.
I haven't pitched it to too many people yet because I've gotten a few. Really? About it.
It's good. It's better than some people's early stuff.
It's also not common around this area, so it's kind of like,
exactly.
Okay.
They're just upset they don't know what the word means.
Yes, don't talk over the heads of your audience or colleagues. All right, here we go. It is the Wrestling Mayhem Show, episode 714. Tuesdays, we've been talking about professionalized wrestling. I'm Mike Sorg at Sorgatron on the Twitter, here in the Sorgatron Media Studio in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, ready to talk professional wrestling with you. Hey, it's still happening. It's still happening. This is where we talk about wrestling and attempted homicide for your entertainment. We got a whole crew with us tonight. First of all, from Beacon, New York, he's the only Mayhemmer with a future endeavor letter from the WWE and probably the coolest Lego collection of any of us, but many are starting to catch up on this show. Mad Mike is with us.
You gotta be joking me. I had to do one more. More.
You still got. I mean, it's still. I mean, we can still be excited.
I'm representing the mom now, but I had to do one more iconic. One more.
We did a lot last night. You put out a new move. You have a new TikTok that's been going around.
It's posed at least 3 times.
At least 3 times. So I need to double check on the TikTok and see if that's been taken off yet. So I mean, the iconic bandwagon is very strong right now.
I do have something else I want to talk about later with the Iconics.
Okay, we'll get around to it. Also with us back on, the host of the hottest new podcast on Sorgatron Media, Listen to Your Parents, Mainstream Matt Carlins.
Thank you very much, Sorg. Mad Mike has a TikTok?
No. I have a TikTok, and I put his dance on the TikTok to the Iconics. Although I messed up. I think when I posted, I didn't bring the Iconics music over with it, so it's a little confusing on Instagram right now. Other than just Mad Mike is doing the pose, and that's okay.
Okay.
I mean,
I didn't know I was having my likeness rights used on TikTok.
Well,
so
I mean,
my lawyers will be in contact with you.
Well, send them to China. China knows. Also with us is the unwilting Rose, Tatiana Rose, back on the show again. First time remotely, I believe. How you doing?
I'm doing okay today.
Everything is just fine.
Everything is doing great. It's fine. I got wrestling t-shirts in the mail, so I'm a little happy.
Yes, fantastic. We're ready for the merch.
Well, I'm actually wearing my newest Matt Connor t-shirt today. Woo!
Nice support.
Yeah.
Support the real Reaper, Matt Carnard, please. We were actually talking about it a little bit on Indie Mayhem show. Zach Rain was talking about that, and the revolt issue now with the former revival. So it never ends. It never ends.
It's just the Disney problem that I don't think anybody expected to translate over into wrestling. Because the whole reason that Disney keeps making the movies they do and taking from the stories they take is so that they can have those movies and nobody else can do it. And, we all make fun of that. We all joke about it and talk about how Disney basically created trademark. But I don't think anybody expected for that problem to translate over into this business because, wrestling's so fluid and everything's been done before. Like, I'm probably not the first person to call myself the unwilting Rose. But everything gets recycled, everything gets done over and given a new twist. And so trademarks have never been something that have stuck or really been thought about. So that this happened at all is just kind of like, Jesus.
And now twice now between the Reaper and the Revolt. So anyways, we'll get into the rest of that wrestling talk and such. So we are, of course, live right now. You can check out everything at WrestlingMayhemShow.com. I see some very interesting people in the chat rooms going on out there. What's up, El Paso? What's up, Rob? What's up, Podner? What's up, Kayla? What's up, Crosshairs Kelly, hanging out over in one of the watch groups right now. So we got a hell of a crew here tonight, and we're going to be talking and have a lot of fun. I hope the vibe we started last night. I don't know. It's just after a good. It's the good pay-per-view vibe after a drought, and I think all of us are energized. But anyways, you can check out everything at WrestlingMayhemShow.com. Drop us a line to that email address. Good times at WrestlingMayhemShow.com, or that phone number that you completely replaced your ex's phone number with in your phone, 412-206-WMS0. Hashtag call us when you're drunk. Tweet us at Mayhem Show. tweet us when you're drunk. And also follow the Facebook page and group. And of course, we are live here every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern here on the Facebook Live, plus over on the YouTube, the Periscope, and the Sorgatron Media Twitch. And we do have all those chat rooms open, but the main one that's happening is over in the Facebook Live, of course. Where the Mayhem Mass has gathered over there typically. So please join us over there for the conversation. But of course, you can check us on your favorite podcast catcher, whether that be Apple, Google, Stitcher, Spreaker, iHeartRadio. We're on all of them that we can think of. If we're not, let us know. Hit us up on one of those things, and we'll make sure we're out there. Please, if you're seeing us live or if you're seeing us later, please hit the like button, hit the favorite button, hit the share button right now. Tell the people that Mayhem is happening and get them in on the Mayhem universe. Also, thank you to our Patreon supporters at patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem Show. Our good friends still supporting the show at the fan of the show level. Bo Diggity! Woo! Hey, there's a voice I wasn't expecting. Ed Burke, Bobby F. J. Town, and Team Hammerfist, our friends at the Poppy Club, Bradley Brothers, Dave Ponder, Daniel Towery, and Tina Keys. Our friends at the Pizza Club level, Doc Rowdy and Kyle Turner, and our friends at the manager level, OccupyProWrestling.com, and Farnsworth Investments. Thank you guys so much for supporting the show. We've had like the biggest year of Patreon so far, and other than Mike, not seeing a lot of that going away. We do appreciate, especially with everything going on.
I pay for very specific services.
It's like I paid for a very specific thing, and even though I wasn't happy with a thing this year,
but damn it, my money was still going to a worthwhile cause.
That's right. There you go. Welcome to the Mayhem charity group. Anyways,
no fun, Mayhem.
Some comments about tweeting when drunk, not a good idea. Anyways, but you guys
tweeting when drunk is a great idea.
You guys can support the show too at Wrestling Mayhem Show. I'm sorry, patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem Show. Links are over at WrestlingMayhemShow.com. Okay, so it has been a week. We talked about a lot last night between mostly Raw, Money in the Bank, and I don't think we didn't get deep into Money in the Bank. And
to be fair, neither did they.
Yeah, it was a very shallow show for the most part.
When R-Truth versus MVP is a booked match on your show, you know it's a little light in the undercard.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Is that a light? I mean, it just happened.
There was no build for it.
Okay. Oh, yeah. But, I mean, we're... okay. I don't even...
Brendan Vink has had more forward momentum on Raw than R-Truth has.
Yeah, well, he's got a bigger mountain to climb that has a lot of runway there. Anyways, so I don't even, for the most part, I'm not even thinking about the undercard on this thing. The Money in the Bank match was a spectacle. It was. I made a tweet yesterday from a comment last night because it was literally the greatest thing is wrestling made me smile this week, and it happened both on Sunday and Monday, and that has me excited for things. Of course, the simplest things get me excited for this. We talked about a lot on the watch party, so I want to actually start with Tatiana on your thoughts on this different Money in the Bank situation this year.
I had a lot of fun watching clips from it. I once again do not have the WWE Network, so I was not able to watch the show. But I was following it every now and then.
You saw enough of it. They put a lot of the big highlights out there, so you got the idea.
My favorite highlight was, and I don't know what the context is. I don't know how this happened. I'm assuming that I can only assume from an outsider's perspective that the matches were happening somewhat simultaneously, either or like one right after the other. My favorite highlight was watching Shayna Baszler put Rey Mysterio in a chokehold. Yeah. I laughed so hard when I saw that, and I had no context. I'm just like, wow, Shayna's got Rey.
So they literally did start at the same time.
Okay.
And
different locations.
Yes, they started
in different locations.
The women were in the lobby, and the men were in the gym. Yes, that gym from the Ico Pro commercials and the Stone Cold.
Which, I'm sorry, no one said I hate Austin, which was very upsetting to me.
Yes.
No one said that. They should have said it.
I think they're all either respect or fear him too much.
I do think it's also kind of weird, and I know this isn't on purpose because you can't start with all 12 people in the lobby. I understand that this is the premise of a joke, but the men started higher on the corporate ladder than the women. Just saying.
Unfortunately, still just life. And I mean, here's the thing. Here's all I have to say about that. The winner of the men's Money in the Bank match did not get nearly as much recognition as the women's Money in the Bank ladder match winner. So,
and also, Asuka prevented Baron Corbin from winning, which is just a win for everyone.
That was beautiful, especially since Baron Corbin committed murder. What was that? I just remember I logged onto Twitter to check on how things were going, and just everybody's going, "Did Corbin just murder 2 people? Did Corbin just murder 2 people?" And I'm like, "Oh my god, did Corbin just murder 2 people?" And rest in peace to Aleister Black and Rey Mysterio. We miss you. We miss you dearly.
We miss you. Thanks for showing up on Raw as Go.
Oh, yes.
Copyright, but copyright being the Elite Entertainment.
I have to say, the best part of the weekend was Aleister Black tweeting right after the pay-per-view, just a picture of a ghost. Just a picture of a ghost. I was just scrubbing through Twitter. I was just scrubbing through Twitter at like midnight, and that came on my feed, and I legitimately snort laughed. I'm like,
it was so aesthetically in tune with him too, because
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't just a ghost; it was like a ghost in a smoky room and surrounded by blackness. And it's like, oh my god, that's definitely the ghost of Aleister Black.
And it was the Charlie Brown, like, I got a rock. Like,
yes,
that's what it was too. It was just
perfect.
I'm like, if you're that witty, I see what Zelina sees in you, sir.
I mean, he also agreed to have 6 cats.
Ooh.
Like, that, I mean,
I couldn't.
They have 6 cats.
I couldn't do it.
There's the tweet. If you guys are on video, there's the tweet in question.
Yeah. It was just absolutely perfect. Absolutely
I love it.
But
it's fun. Like, wrestling is fun again, and this is what it like. We don't have to be serious all the time. We had some great matches beforehand, especially that WWE Championship match, where I think it was great. But then we could just have fun and kind of laugh at the absurdity of it all for a while, and they're really good when they do that well.
One thing I'm surprised nobody's talking about is when Dana Brooke fake won. Why didn't she just look at that briefcase and go, oh, and just leave? That briefcase she grabbed was full of money. I would have taken that and gone. Like, oh, I don't saw the contract. I'm gonna go put this in my savings. Bye.
Dana Brooke had low key the best performance in that whole match, because it wasn't just grabbing the wrong briefcase. It was also her recovering from that and running into the food fight room while still wearing the poster of Carmella around her shoulder.
That was so funny.
I wanted to grab Dana and just hug her and be like, thank you for understanding comedy. Thank you. Thank you for the through line that you took us on with that joke.
That match was just so fun to watch. Mostly on the women's side, especially like when Asuka jumped from the balcony, which was beautiful, jumped into the elevator, and just that moment of them all going, shit, the elevator's gone, and then stairs. Asuka dancing in the elevator was everything.
The use of elevator cameras was just spot on in most of this. But
that's been a good idea since Randy Orton versus Wade Barrett back in, I think it was 2011, maybe 10. And it wasn't a match. Or no, wait, yeah, it was a match. It was a Falls Count Anywhere match. And Barrett and Orton, fight spilled out into the arena. They got into an elevator, started brawling, and then they made their way into a stairwell. And that's when we had the spot of, oh, Randy Orton just fell down the stairs and probably broke something. Hey, Wade, you might want to run.
Oh, geez. From from the chat, we got the partner says Ray getting sandwiched between Otis and Nia. The Paul Heyman interlude there, which by the way, sponsored by Put a Pickle on that. Well, check it out on YouTube, and Chachi says on Twitter. You love a good food fight, and I didn't imagine we'd have one in the main event of a pay-per-view in that one. But good.
Man, it was just a lot of fun.
It was
a good time.
Matt, Mason Mania, of course, runs wild every day. It's like Christmas. Hold it in your heart every day.
I mean, it tries to run wild every day, but because I'm his father, sometimes I have to tell him, no, today it cannot run wild. It must cease running. It must at least walk today.
Yeah.
So
you
you ever
running
fought
wild
to
every
kill
day.
Mason Mania? Is that what you're saying?
No, I just you gotta kind of govern it a little bit.
Ready?
Kill it with a dose of poison.
Whoa, whoa.
I mean, he'd be running like 8-match cards plus a Royal Rumble at the beginning and the end of the card if I let him every
Oh my
single
God,
day.
he sounds like
That
an
would
indie
be
booker.
It is. He's big on the battle royals and the Royal Rumbles, and he will do he will do the tag team battle royal, like whatever feels right.
Hey,
You know,
he wants everyone to get a paycheck. That's commendable.
Yeah, everyone gets
you
on
gotta
that
get
card.
that
Yeah.
pay-per-view money, brother.
Well, I see that Money in the Bank already influenced him, as I saw these pictures, and I will describe these for you guys on audio and you guys on visual. When I saw this image of 2 HelloFresh boxes taped together and stacked together, and the WWE ring on top of it.
Yes. Yes.
And
Yes.
obvious.
Oh my goodness. I tell you what, I love Sorg. I talk about this all the time. Like when you're playing with your kid and you have your cell phone within reach, and you could see Aleister Black is climbing like the bed railing above where the briefcase is hanging. You're like, I'm getting my phone. Just hold on a second, Mason. I just got to get this real quick.
Aleister Black falls off and lands on the ramp.
He does. It's the Rey Mysterio falling off the ledge and just like landing headfirst on the entrance ramp. 2 HelloFresh boxes down. There was no secondary roof on our match.
Oh no! Oh, head first on the ramp.
Yeah.
That's so.
I mean, this is. I love it.
That's Lucha Underground. That's Lucha Underground. Right there.
Yeah, it's very Lucha
And
Underground.
usually I kind of I try not to get involved, because we as adults have, we just shouldn't get too involved when our kids are playing. But even I couldn't resist. Like you could see the one clip where my hand reaches out and I push the ladder over because I couldn't resist. Like I wanted to see the ladder tip, guy at the top of the ladder, almost to the briefcase, ladder tipped over, off the side of the building, gone. That's real action figure action.
Oh yeah,
So, yeah, it was fun. He wants to do another one, except he wants to take it outside. He wants to go into the back driveway, and he wants to do it under. Maybe he'll wait until there's cover of darkness too. Maybe we'll just put the lights on
do it
over
at
and
night,
everything.
spotlight it.
We could have an outdoor under the lights Mason Mania match.
You're giving away all
I
the
know you're
cookie
thinking about
ideas.
that.
I know you say.
Yeah,
I love. He's like, you're talking about me.
I
You're
know
giving away
you're
all the
talking
cookie
about it.
ideas.
Yes, yeah.
I love how he's wearing headphones like Paul Heyman in the old ECW days.
Yeah. Okay, bye. All right, back to Fortnite.
Hey, he's going to produce.
This is life.
I got shit
Yeah,
to do.
he's. I don't want to underplay the majesty of the home game, basically, of the Money in the Bank ladder match on top of a building. But Sorg, our main event was awesome too. I don't know if you saw the picture from the main event.
Wait, the match on top of a building wasn't the main event?
It wasn't the main event. We had a world title match.
What, was it a regular
world title
wrestling match?
between Adam Cole and Brock Lesnar? I don't know if how up to speed on the Mason Mania you are, but there was a storyline where Brock won a match and got to go on a cruise for a month. Brock makes this. We found a toy boat. Brock Lesnar entered on the boat for the main event match. He sails in on the boat.
Is Braun Strowman driving?
Yeah. Well, he's got a stable with Braun Strowman and Keith Lee. It's amazing. And he wins. He gets back on the boat sails away. It's just
So what is this?
So-
this
So
somebody's
basically, Brock normal booking.
it is broken normal booking, except there was a boat involved, a physical boat sailed
I mean, here's
into
the thing.
arena.
Do we know for sure that there isn't usually a boat? I mean,
What's that, huh?
are we for sure that there isn't usually a boat involved with Brock disappearing for months at a time? I mean, maybe that's the secret. Maybe that's what. Maybe he's out there defending the WWE universe from pirates. Maybe that's what's been going on.
Oh, these are good ideas. That's why Paul Burchill hasn't
they're
been back.
not.
I want that fan fiction. That's a good idea.
Yeah, anyway, it's crazy. Like, yeah.
Oh my God! I've turned Brock Lesnar into a hero. No.
It depends on your views of pirates.
Wow.
So I can't say much because my ancestor is a pirate, but
This
Sir
is
Francis
this is
Drake.
news.
Yeah, I am a descendant of Sir Francis Drake, somewhere way back in the lineage, because he didn't have any kids, so I'm technically related to one of his relatives. It's somewhere.
Wow.
Well, I just found the Wikipedia page.
Yeah.
It's
And
like-
now
Yeah.
it's edited.
He had a whole 4-game series based off of him, because the Uncharted game started finding the tomb of Sir Francis Drake.
Jeez.
And yeah.
So
I found that out.
basically, you're a character in Uncharted.
Shit.
And pulling that together.
Oh no. Oh no.
I
All
really
right.
hope you haven't told this to the promoter that actually has pirates on the roster in West Virginia. Are you watching,
gotta
Rick?
go.
Are you watching?
So-
Rick?
I gotta
So
go.
So your ship is called the Unwilting Rose now, right?
Damn it!
Ooh!
Oh.
Oh, man, if you need a reboot, like pirate lady gimmick, I don't think has happened to any
Just-
great effect in pro
Just
wrestling.
team with her. Just team with Dash and Dawson and be FTR.
Yes.
I brought it all the way around.
Mm-hmm.
I brought it all the way around.
Mm-hmm. All the way around and then some.
Mhm.
In, out.
All-
Okay.
All right.
I gotta go.
We're gonna give everybody a chance to sit on that for a moment and come up with your own pirate themed ideas. But in the meantime, you can see the Tatiana Rose in action over at Indy Wrestling US, Indy Wrestling.network, including over at Black Diamond Wrestling, and of course on VOD, some other promotions. Look it up. But a lot of action over there, a lot of stuff. Hey, there's not a lot going on. There's actually more going on than surprisingly. Stay tuned for some announcements. But in the meantime, it's a great time to catch up on indie wrestling. Of course, we got the great 24-hour Twitch and Periscope feeds, so you can just dip your toes into what's going on and catch up on a little. We have also our friends over at Grind City TV on Roku are carrying some special weekly matches Wednesday nights at 11 p.m. But you can also pick up a lot of great stuff, including From the Heartland, a great collection of Heartland wrestling from around the, I guess, Southern Ohio, Kentucky, all over area there. Seeing a lot of great faces. John Cena's featured on there. I think Eddie Guerrero's in there. Charlie Haas is a part of that. Jamie Noble, Brian Kendrick, a lot of great WWE names a part of that. And of course, put together and with new commentary, of course, by Les Thatcher and Joe Dombrowski. Go check it out on VOD over there at IndieWrestling.us and all the other great titles going on there. A lot of great stuff going on. Speaking of indie wrestling, I learned that there's something about washing a belt with ketchup. What was this? Is she muted? Is she muted?
No, I'm not muted.
Is that a way
Okay.
to clean your belts? I've never had a
Yes,
championship
okay.
belt.
Okay, so, all right. First off, I want to say loud and clearly, this was not originally my idea.
Okay.
This is not some thought. I just thought, oh, I'll just do this. No, this was an idea suggested to me, and then demonstrated by another person that it was also suggested to. So this is not technically my fault.
You vetted
Second,
this.
it is
you
in fact
vetted this.
Listen, two guys at IWC made me think it was a good idea. It's not my fault. Anywho, secondly, it is a scientific fact that ketchup does in fact shine up certain metals.
Okay.
That's not like some random thing that somebody came up with out of their bomb. There's chemicals in ketchup that it's like the acidic properties of the tomatoes and other spices that go into it that take away a lot of crap from certain metals, but it's only certain metals.
Mm-hmm.
Other metals, it can damage, it can cause it to erode a little bit and actually lose some shine. My belt is neither of those. So the ketchup did nothing. It did absolutely nothing. It didn't make it any shinier and it didn't damage it, which is a good thing.
Okay. At least we didn't go the other way.
Yeah. Nothing happened to it. It just smells vaguely of tomatoes now.
Well, it's like if your belt got sprayed by a skunk.
And you're trying to correct it. Yes.
Exactly. Okay. But yeah.
Are you going to tell me that every time you come by my camera position with your belt, I'm going to just vaguely have a craving for pizza?
Eventually the smell's going to wear off, so maybe the first time.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Jeez.
Again, I did say it vaguely smells of tomatoes. But, okay, so...
Don't leave it in a hot car anytime soon.
Oh, no. It's actually sitting right behind me.
There it is.
Hey!
Always have your championships in webcam reach.
Yeah. But yeah, it's fine. It's actually, the smell is actually gone, which is good. But yeah, I've just been, anybody that's been following the videos I've been putting out, I've just been losing my mind and just trying to keep busy to, well, some would say to very little effect, but you know, I thought, screw it. I'm going to try that whole clean your metal item with ketchup ordeal. And clearly that didn't work out in my favor.
While that may not have been an accomplishment, I was over the moon that you got Zeke Mercer to talk on camera.
I have gotten so many compliments about that. So many people have been like, Zeke got a promo? And I'm like, thanks, guys.
There are promoters out there that have been waiting on a promo, hypothetically, I'm sure, for the past, like, since we all got locked down, and then saw that.
Yeah. That was a fun little video to put out. But I am very curious as to how he got my phone number. I don't think I've actually gotten that answer yet. And that also leads me to ask, who else has it? I don't know who else has that number.
That's never a good question to ask.
Who has her number, but unfortunately it's labeled as Mayhem Show Hotline? I don't know.
No. Oh, God, that would be... No offense, but that would just be a terrible day. It's like, is this the Mayhem Show Hotline?
Well, considering we've been telling everybody to call when they're drunk for like the last 5 years at least.
Oh, even longer than that, because I used to actually call when I was drunk. So
You did.
I did several times.
Yes.
Oh my God.
It was usually at 4 a.m. So.
It's drunk you, Big Freaky, Daniel Tiger, and the Miz that one time. So that's pretty much our hotline history. So,
the Miz?
Yeah. Yeah. There was a Mad Mike happened to meet him at a Big Apple Con, and
I went to San Diego Comic-Con.
Oh, that was San Diego.
I went to San Diego Comic-Con. I waited online for about an hour and a half, and I had to time this just right. So I had my phone in my hand, and I was like, okay, second I get up there, I'll get the autograph, and then I'll see if he'll leave a message. So I dialed. I was like, hey, sorry, my buddy Mike really wanted to come to this. Is there a way you could, like, just, tell him what he's missing? And he's like, sure, no problem. He grabbed my phone. He cut a promo into the phone. And then the picture, the video of it was on .com.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
really? Wait, did I know about this?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
because I took a screen cap from it.
Nice.
I took a screen cap from it when I saw it on Raw. I'm like, that's my phone. Look, this is using my phone.
Wait, it wasn't you. It was just your phone and him talking into it.
It was just my phone. I was not on the video.
Oh
I
my
found
god.
out like once I got a job there, I found out who actually found that clip.
Mm-hmm.
And I told them that was my phone. They're like, that is awesome.
That's fantastic.
I kind of had I actually had a very similar experience. I got a baseball player to talk shit to my brother.
Nice.
Same deal. I was at Pirate Fest and they had a booth set up where you could go and meet a player, and somebody would dial the phone and they would call and talk to a relative or anybody that you wanted them to talk to.
Mm-hmm.
And we met Jared Hughes, and Jared Hughes, I'm not going to get into too much detail because I don't want to reveal too much about my non-Tatiana life that may or may not exist.
What a tease.
May not. Are you a
I have a secret life. No.
Boo. Hashtag Ghost Tatiana. Hashtag don't call me.
Hashtag Pirate Coast.
Hashtag smells like ketchup still.
So many things I'm not going to live down from this one. I had met Jared Hughes so many times that he kind of knew who I was because the Pirates weren't. This was right before the Pirates had that beautiful 2013 season. So it was a lot easier to get recognized by a player back then when you were a fan. So Hughes sees me. He's like, hey, it's you. This again. How are you doing? How's this going? How's that going? Talk to him a little bit. And I'm like, hey, listen, my brother is a Nationals fan because my brother used to work for the Nationals and he still loves them for some reason. And I think it would be really funny if you gave him a buzz. And he's like, he's a Nationals fan? Okay. And he and my brother talked smack to each other for a good 10 minutes. It was amazing to watch.
That's amazing. The closest to that I've gotten is I took a picture with Dan Marino when him and Bruno, and this is actually props to Matt Carlins for giving me the lead on it. I got a picture with him and I sent it to my wife and her family because they're all Bills fans.
Nice.
And the Dolphins, of course, were not nice to the Bills in the Super Bowl. So
neither were the Cowboys.
Neither were the Cowboys, of course. I'm sorry, Troy Aikman doesn't hang around Pittsburgh that often, but so, oh man, great stuff. Hey, I want to keep moving. We got a lot of stuff to get to in the second half here, but in the meantime, I want to give a shout out to our friends supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza. We actually had a fun delivery scheme tonight since everybody was relatively local on the Awesome Cast. Since I know nobody's been in the studio for a while, hopefully that changes relatively soon, that we'll be allowed to do that. We're working on what we can do after Friday. Things are changing here in Pennsylvania, at least this part of Pennsylvania. But in the meantime, these guys have been supporting us for a good long time. I'm so happy that people have been supporting them through these tough times when you can't go in. They still deliver. They still take out. They're still not coming to Seattle. I'm sorry, Tina, but we were actually working with something that might help, actually, that we connected on Twitter tonight. Here's hoping. But anyways, please go give them a shout out. Even if you're not in the area, let them know, man, I wish Slice was in my town. And you never know how that global expansion can go, because they already went from 1 to 4 locations since we've been chatting about them. So please go check them out. Our good friends at sliceonbroadway.com. All right, we'll be back with more with Tatiana Rose, and we are going to be talking about our homework assignment from Jacob Edwin, and you'll find out what the one for next week is as well, coming up after this.
Sweet.
Put the Miz promo in this week.
Mm-hmm.
I'm literally still running all the same promos from like 10 years ago, and that's it.
Hey, you know what? We were on a pretty good trend.
We were, and then I've interviewed everybody in the last 5 years and haven't asked a single one of them to do a liner.
Mm-hmm. That's on you, Sorg.
That's on. That's on B.
Sorg, I can only get the Iron Sheik to do a promo once.
Well,
Yeah, we got Iron Sheik.
We got Sheik. We got Miz. We got Kevin Eastman. And Armando Estrada.
Yep.
And Jimmy Snuka before we had different thoughts about Jimmy Snuka. It's just like we kind of didn't think. I didn't think we could do much more, and then we did a lot of interesting things since. But anyways, I guess I'm just like a chat message away from just like, hey guys, send me a liner because everybody can do it on their phone now.
Yeah, and
we
they
should
can literally say whatever they want.
What's that?
They can literally say whatever they want.
Yes, they can.
Apparently, there are 3 new Becky Lynch shirts.
Oh no, we didn't even talk about that yet.
Yeah, I know.
Oh my god.
We'll get to it.
Hey, before we come back from the break,
Yes.
Mason begged me to jump on here and answer questions about Mason Mania for like 1 minute. So here, I gotta.
Okay.
He's ready to.
Okay. So we're gonna do this for gold here.
No, matches for tomorrow. Okay, matches for tomorrow.
All right, Mason Mania. What are the matches for tomorrow? Mason?
Instant touching match. It's gonna be the Bullet Club
Okay, Bull Club.
versus someone something was with a mystery the partner
Right, you have to explain why Roman's not with him anymore.
because they betray him.
Who did he betray?
They betrayed Roman.
Roman's betrayed 17.
Wow.
Oh.
Oh,
I
man.
did not see that one coming.
Oh man.
Stay up, you guys.
Tell him who's in the Bullet Club. In your Bullet Club.
It's you guys.
Okay, Gallows.
Carl Anderson.
Okay, can you hold him up a little higher for the camera? There you go. Okay.
Ah,
Yes,
Whoa.
Yep.
Nice.
You got anything else? We got everybody. We got about 15 people watching out there. You're talking to.
I need to get some more matches.
You get some more. He's like, I got an audience. I gotta get more matches.
I gotta keep booking, bro.
One more match.
It's like, oh my god, I gotta draw.
Because I had to get 5 matches.
I told you it's bedtime. Actually, that's one thing that I told you that you seem to keep leaving out.
Oh.
See, that is a stipulation nobody ever seems to take into consideration.
To go to sleep.
What is the bedtime of the wrestlers?
Yes. From the chat, Bradley says that Mason has an answer for all the people he fired on Black Wednesday. Also, during that last segment, Mama Flexer was in the chat room and was talking to Tatiana. It says there was a pirate queen in Ireland in the 16th century named Grace O'Malley. That could be a storyline.
She's in one of my Rejected Princesses books. I know exactly who Grace O'Malley is.
Who? What?
Oh, no.
I gotta unpack that for a minute.
Okay, first off.
Also, in Arm's Length, Rejected Princesses book. Championship bout, Rejected Princesses book. That's how you do it.
Wow.
Yeah, I always keep my good book. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, so this is an actual book, and the sequel is called Tough Mothers. Grace O'Malley, I believe, is in my first book. It is by Jason Porath, who is a former Disney animator. Basically, it takes all of these amazing women from history that you don't typically hear about in typical history books, who did all these great accomplishments and usually had their work overshadowed by a guy, as is fairly typical for history.
Ooh.
And just sheds light on their accomplishments, gives a little bit of truth to some mythos surrounding them, like, oh, this woman was said to have done this, that, and the other thing. Well, it's actually more likely that this happened. Good example is, crap. What was her name?
And this is illustrated?
Yes.
Okay, because I'm pulling up rejectedprincesses.com, and this art is gorgeous.
This one is my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
it's a little hard to see. It is Julie Lemarpin de Bigini, also famously known as Lemarpin. She is a bisexual icon, which makes her a huge hero of mine. And she is most known for going into a convent to shag up with a nun and then setting the convent on fire.
Oh, jeez.
She did, and it was to cover up that a nun had died and she and her lover wanted to run away. The nun died of natural causes. Oh. It was just kind of convenient, like, oh. Well, this was perfectly timed. Let's make a run for it. But we needed distraction beyond the dead nun. Fire. Arson.
Fire's always the best distraction.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, crap. What was the name again?
Grace O'Malley?
Grace O'Malley. If she's not in this book, she's in the next book. And if she's in neither of the books, she definitely had a thing written about her. Yes, she is.
I got some other matches.
Mason's.
Sorry.
Yes.
Do you have time to indulge this small child for like one more
Sure thing.
minute?
We're just talking about rejected princesses right now.
Okay. All right.
Real fast, here's the Grace O'Malley picture.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
It looks very Becky Lynch.
Run through your match.
Yeah. Okay, we'll get to that in a second. Go ahead, Mason. What you got?
Okay. The next one's gonna be Sarah Woods versus Ricochet.
Ooh.
Nice.
Oh, that's actually a really good sounding match. Let's do that.
It's gonna be a tag team match. It's gonna be the Undisputed versus Biggie and Kofi Kingston.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
And Brock Lesnar.
Oh.
Brock.
He got the universal. Who gave him the universal belt?
Oh, an announcement. I love a good announcement.
Outside.
Is he pregnant?
Hi.
No!
Listen, Mason. We don't know what his body can do. We don't know for sure.
We literally don't know.
We know he has. We know he has kids, but we don't know who made them.
Nope.
No. He had destroyed our core, right? Good.
Oh.
Pretty decent fight.
And you know what happened? Barrett almost went over our core with a boat.
Yeah, we didn't get to that part about how we were running people over with the boat. The boat ran over Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish.
Is that?
And it's
Well,
So he was almost the undisputed era.
Was that the far away artistic shot of somebody holding a briefcase in the air?
yeah, and I need the captain.
Oh jeez.
The mother's trying to cash in. Wait, I need to try to catch in.
Right. He couldn't catch him because
Because he was on a boat.
Mojo was on foot.
Because 1 second, our coach is gonna take a break. He's on a boat. Because
He's gonna take a cruise too.
he's gonna take a break.
Yeah.
And
Apparently, that's the secret to success.
and he's gonna come back and come after Brock Lesnar.
I'm excited
Nice.
for Mason Mania Bruise Cruise.
Yes.
It's gonna be outside. Over there, outside. Right, Daddy? Outside?
Outdoor venue.
Yeah.
Great.
Just like WrestleMania or Saudi Arabia.
No, it's Mason Mania.
When are you doing?
Yeah, come on.
What are you doing? Mason Arabia.
You good?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna do it on Wednesday.
Okay.
I'm gonna do it on Tuesday.
Fantastic.
How about Sunday?
How about Sunday?
Yeah.
Sunday's a good day for a pay-per-view.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Every day we have a pay-per-view on Sunday.
really good day for a pay-per-view.
Sunday.
Yeah, there you go. I like that idea. I'm afraid you were gonna lose your headphones there for
Oh
a second.
jeez. Anyways. All right.
job.
All right. We're gonna get coming back here. I just have something real quick and make sure it's working because I didn't do that yet. So you guys can hear the video too. Let me test it.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, all the videos. Oh no. All the videos were playing at the same time. We need to fix that.
Oh, that's terrifying.
I have the show open in about 3 or 4 different tabs. That went as good as you expected. All right, let's make sure we can hear only one voice now.
The line in a 2 out of 3 falls match with the Hollywood Blondes defending their championship against.
Oh, that's the teaser. That's the teaser. We need a big question.
Ooh.
And I think I'm going to use the big question I was going to last week. Then
Okay.
we'll do homework assignment, next one, and then we have to talk about Becky Lynch too.
Yeah, we have to talk about Vickie Lynch. I mean, how about we just do who are your
How about
favorite
if we're gonna review, do the homework assignment? Maybe we skip the big question.
I think for
I was
Doug,
going to say, big question, who are your favorite moms in wrestling?
Oh,
Because we can do that.
And
because
transition in. Yeah.
Mother's Day was Sunday.
I should
wow.
I should hit record on things. Whoa, dude.
Always a good idea, Sorg.
That was a good idea. That's better than my idea. Still better than my idea. Let's do that. Let's do that.
Oh God, Bradley!
What?
What did he do?
What did he
Bradley
say?
said Mason should do a
Oh,
Saudi show at the local
no.
gas station.
Bradley, no.
Oh,
Oh, Bradley,
Depends-
no. Bradley,
It
this is what
depends what the gas station is willing to pay.
Bradley, this is why we send you butts.
Oh, jeez.
Oh no! After Money in the Bank, we went on a spree of
A-
sending him butts on Twitter
If
for
a
about
butt
20
parade, if you will.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we tried to outdo each other with the weirdest butts that we could find
Mhm.
on Twitter.
Mm-hmm. It was fantastic. Anyways, it is the Wrestling Mayhem Show. We are back. Of course, Mad Mike with us, Matt Carlins, and Tatiana Rose, the Black Diamond Women's Champion. And there was a comment in the chat room over the break from Bobby. It says to ask Tatiana if she called the ketchup belt bath the Heinz Shine. And active facepalm.
I was gonna say,
That sounds like a
may be the
finisher to
fir-
me. That sounds like a
That may be
finisher.
the first audible facepalm I've heard.
Yes. That's you make
helps
noise
with
with
that.
everything. That's what they teach you, right?
Yes, it also helps that there's a microphone next to my face. So
Well, anyways, a big week, big announcements, not from us, but in wrestling, and including Becky Lynch announcing Mama Becky going to be a mother. Congratulations there. And of course, to fit with that, Mad Mike has our big question for this week.
All right. Well, also, I was going to ask this last week, but completely forgot about it. Since it was fitting that Sunday was Mother's Day, and with Becky Lynch's announcement, the big question this week is, who is your favorite mother in wrestling?
Ooh. Ooh, interesting.
Mm.
These pants have pockets. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay. We understand pants with pockets are a very big deal.
I'm sorry. I literally just noticed that. My hand just disappeared into my.
We understand.
Hey.
It's been 8 weeks. We understand. It's been 8 weeks since you've seen human persons. It's a
You're human people, Sword.
in person and not like through a screen that you maybe
Wait,
still question
you
if they're
mean
real
I
people
have-
or part of the Matrix.
I can have conversations with people in person that aren't Lego characters.
Mhm. like
You
Mickey-
lied to me, Mickey and a Hulkbuster.
Anyways, favorite moms in wrestling.
Yes.
Oh. I was gonna say Dawn Marie, but that's by marriage.
Hey, it counts.
It counts.
Stepmoms are moms too, Sorg.
What?
Stepmoms are moms
Oh,
too.
I thought you said dead moms. That got really weird. So
That's also true, but
yes.
No, stepmoms become moms together.
What? Anyways, let's not go deep down that rabbit hole, I guess. So, Matt, do you have a favorite mom in wrestling?
Yes, Sorg, I do. I just one just came to mind. But I will nominate, because it is a little bit of a tough question. I will nominate Helen Hart for putting up with all of the jokes from the King over the years,
Yes.
and being a relatively good sport about it. I can't speak for Stu, but perhaps Helen wished death upon him too. So there you go.
I mean, she wouldn't be the only one to wish death upon the King. Yeah.
I go ahead.
All right, I have a mom.
Mm-hmm.
One of probably my favorite mom in wrestling, Mama Benjamin.
Yes.
I loved that gimmick.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, damn much.
Yeah.
I wish that gimmick lasted for 8 years. Because this is a rare thing that WWE did. Like, normally when they would bring in someone as a mom, it would just be another wrestler or someone who's in the wrestling business.
Mm-hmm.
Thea Vidal's an actor. She was like on TGIF shows. Like, she knows her shit. So when they brought her on to be Shelton Benjamin's mother, like, it was an actual actor, like, that didn't, as far as I know, did not know the wrestling business, but just played the part of an overbearing mother to Shelton Benjamin, who occasionally hit on the Big Show. And it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. If you've never experienced Mama Benjamin, just as soon as this podcast is over, go to your WWE network, type in Mama Benjamin, and enjoy the rest of your evenings in activities. It's great.
I believe didn't that culminate with a dancing mamas at WrestleMania?
No.
Or was that my fever dream?
That was Brodus Clay.
Really?
Oh God, I remember
Mama.
that.
Oh, we got another dancing gif. There we go. Mark that. Wow. Tatiana, do you have a favorite mom in wrestling?
I do. My favorite, it'd have to be Mickie James.
Yes.
Mickie James has always been one of my biggest influences in wrestling. So, obviously, she's a mom now. She has been for quite some time. She's my favorite mom.
And she survived getting thrown in front of the Hogwarts Express.
What?
And also, one of my favorite things about Mickie in her latest run in WWE, especially when she was being like the second for Alexa Bliss, she would always come out in these like ridiculously high heels and then just proceed to kick ass while in the high heels. It was amazing. She was a better wrestler in like 10-inch heels than most regular people are in just like normal shoes.
So, usually, Mickie James is a very short person, and as a very short person myself, sometimes you just gotta learn how to use heels when you got them. I don't think I could do that in heels that high though. Like that length of heels is a total Mickie James thing, but had to get inspiration from somewhere.
But yeah, Tatiana, back in Impact, James Storm threw Mickie James in front of a train. That was a thing that happened. And Mickie James just came back within like 2 weeks or so. Because she's a badass.
Yep.
You know, I do remember when she was announcing her pregnancy on Impact. Or no, wait. She wasn't announcing her pregnancy. She'd already had the baby by that point. She was just saying, hey guys, I tried to do both, but I've decided that I need to go and be a mom. And James Storm came out and was like, oh, come on, Mickie, let's have one more, man. Hey, you guys remember when James Storm was in NXT?
Yes. Yes.
Do you remember when that happened and we had beer money in NXT?
Yeah. Oh, the possibilities.
And it didn't put them together?
No.
And then he
didn't put them together.
And he went back and I said, sorry about your damn voices.
From the chat room, Tina.
Sorg, who's your favorite?
My favorite? We'll roll back to that. Tina shares, first of all, the OG Priest 2016 Linda McMahon.
No, Sorg. Let's read the whole comment.
Okay.
Judy Bagwell, just kidding. The Brodus Mom Squad, just kidding. Then she said the OG pre-2016 Linda McMahon.
She did really set us up for that, didn't she? Eve Torres is a great wrestling mom, especially with her self-defense courses. Right? I said, excuse me. Oh, Vickie Guerrero from Podner.
Good choice.
Even though Vickie is persona non grata to WWE now. Yeah, that's right. She did something. I still haven't watched that match with Jay and Silent Bob yet.
Yeah, she is the first winner of the
the Manitoba Melee.
Manitoba Melee. I knew it wasn't Montreal. I'm like, it's another Canadian M city.
So my favorite parents right now, can I say, which includes the mom. Right.
Okay.
We're doing the math here.
Garza also says the best mom is Sweet Soraya Knight, the only mom to kick her daughter's ass.
Oh.
And I say, give it time.
And flipped off our friend Toddy from the Thrifty Podcast when they did Blackcraft here. That was a fun moment.
And Bobby says,
yes, the show that shall never be named.
Oh, it's been named several times.
I think Bobby also mentioned another mom, Men on a Mission.
Yes.
That might have been a stretch from the
by the way,
definition we're looking for.
I got a shout out. We were doing a stream. I think we were doing the Fight Underground stream on Wednesday, and somebody said that Oscar from Men on a Mission was watching in the stream. Yeah.
I'm glad Oscar's still out there doing something.
There's some footage of Oscar in on the Prime Wrestling stuff. I think it's on the network. Actually, no, it is because on the Superstars disc for Prime Cuts, he wrapped somebody to the ring at Prime Wrestling up at the Nautica stage in Cleveland, like I don't know, some 6 years ago or so. So yeah, he's doing something.
There was a period in my life where I knew the entire WrestleMania rap. Now the only thing I can remember is that he rhymed days and Alundra Blaze.
Yes.
The only part of it I can remember.
That works.
Although honestly, call Oscar back, have him write raps for every WrestleMania card going forward. Because it's better than having the announcers just tell us what's on the card. I'd rather hear a rap.
We may need to call him up because it may be time for a new theme song.
Oh wow. Oh boy, Sorg.
How long have you been
using this one? Well versed in the lore. You would need to be well versed in the lore to come up with a rap for us.
We can give him some notes. How do you think they came up with the Ghostbusters theme song?
That's true.
Yep. I mean, they didn't have it done. Anyways, so my answer was Beth Phoenix and Edge. Well, but Beth Phoenix for the mom part. But it's they just seem like the most I don't know, a documentary made them seem like a very nice couple.
From everything I've seen, they are a very, very happy little family.
Yeah.
I think my favorite part is just how much Edge adores his little girls, and it's just so cute.
And that always came off on the podcast too. So I mean, when it felt like, and I feel like you'll get more of the real story on a long form podcast kind of situation like that. Listen to this podcast, and you get an idea what's going on in my life sometimes. But it was confirmed by how what you saw in the Edge documentary too.
Well, yeah, I love the fact that the only person Edge could train with was his wife, who could throw him around the ring.
So great,
that was great, beautiful, just absolutely beautiful. Yes. Beth Phoenix is a badass, and honestly, I cried when she got inducted into the Hall of Fame for two reasons. One, I cried because, hey, childhood wrestling hero, finally getting the recognition she deserves. And then on a sadder note, I started crying when they shifted the focus from her to Edge. I was pissed about that. Legitimately, I really do not like that some guy, I don't even remember who it was. I think it might have been Fink. Somebody walked out in the middle of, towards the end of her speech and said, yes, Beth, let's definitely thank your husband, Edge. And they started playing Edge's theme, and everybody did a standing ovation for him. And it's like, no, he got inducted years ago.
Yeah.
Beth is getting inducted right now.
It's her time. Yeah.
I started crying. I was so upset. I was like, no, I didn't tune in to watch Edge get inducted. I tuned in because Beth Phoenix was getting inducted. I'm still sore about that.
Yeah. I mean, at least you know that probably wasn't Edge's call. So I mean,
I know, but like,
it's unfortunate either way.
Well, anyways, of course, this is because we're talking about. Wait, who's Canadian? Who's Canadian? Beth. Beth is not.
Bonner is saying that they seem super nice because they're Canadian.
Beth is Canadian adjacent. She's a Buffalo girl, so but does not.
Oh, that's close enough, Sorg.
That's close enough. I mean, practically. I mean, same stuff.
it's closer than some wrestlers would like to. There's a couple of wrestlers we know that are not as close to being Canadian as that. So
man, with the fire tonight.
It's almost like you're
I
saying
mean,
that
if you tell people you're Canadian, you're like your expected level of wrestling expertise increases by like 25%. So if you just
that's fair.
go your
next thing
you're
you're
like,
gonna tell me,
this guy must be good.
next thing you're gonna tell me is that Tracy Smothers wasn't a full-blood Italian.
What?
Oh, I ain't saying anything.
I mean, we've all had our doubts about Tracy Smothers, but you have to admit Tommy Rich definitely a full-blooded Italian. I mean, there's no doubt about that, right?
Yes.
Listen, I haven't done a blood test or anything, but
but it came out marinara, so I think we're
Either marinara or cannoli filling. So
wow. Anyways, Becky Lynch, big news this week, and I think the first time, because I think somebody was also like, is this the first time somebody had to relinquish a title due to pregnancy? At least in a major
I was
company.
just trying to think about like when have we? I'm glad Tatiana mentioned Mickie James because it's been so long since she kind of like stepped away to have her kids. Does she have one or two? It doesn't matter.
She has one.
Anyway, it's just like I was trying to think of like, okay, when's the last time we had, a woman wrestler who was this, at the peak of like her career, like step away for pregnancy, and Mickie James is a great answer to that.
Kamala, at the peak of her hype, had to step away. She didn't have a title.
Yes.
But at the peak of her, at the height of her popularity, she had to step away.
Mm-hmm.
And we've also gotten much better reactions now than the reaction of Karma announcing her pregnancy.
Yes.
That whole situation is just sad to look back on.
Yeah,
So.
like it would have been one thing if they did it, because honestly, what they did on Raw last night with revolving everything regarding Becky Lynch, I think was perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Because you got 95% positive reactions from everyone involved.
Mm-hmm.
You got Seth Rollins looking like he just found out.
Mm-hmm.
You had the iconic. You had the Iconics happy but dismissive, and then you had like Becky's last real opponent be a heel, and that was perfect because she didn't like mock Becky or anything like that. She's just like, no one should get no one should have babies.
Like, wow, you went to have a baby? Wow, I stayed here and stayed baby-less.
It would have been really funny if Shayna was like, you know what? I was a baby. It was terrible.
I'm glad she didn't. I feel like that would have killed her heat.
Yeah,
deadness track. Because
but
let's
honestly,
be honest,
the Iconics should have said that. Oh no, they did say that.
Did
They did say that. They did. They were both like, I was a baby. You were a baby. Nikki acts like, and they said Nikki acts like a baby. That was the third joke.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, I forgot they did say that.
That's amazing.
But they were like, they were the right people to say that. They were definitely the right people to say that.
Considering how WWE reacted last time one of their stars had to leave due to pregnancy, this is a 180, complete 180, perfect turnaround.
Well, I mean, there've been a couple of other pregnancies in between what happened with Karma, and I think. And here's the thing, every single pregnancy announcement, you're right, every single pregnancy announcement since what happened with Karma has been a lot more positive because of all the backlash they received about that. Like, wow, this woman just stepped out here and revealed she's starting a family, like she's crying tears of joy, and you have two of your biggest stars go out and body shame her in the process. That is a terrible way to treat one of your workers. And every announcement since then, especially because of how tragic that situation ended up being,
Yeah.
has been a lot better because they learned their lesson. Like, oh, that's a line we shouldn't be crossing.
I'm looking forward to eventually Becky Lynch turning heel by tossing a fake baby at Daniel Bryan to help Seth win a title.
She pulls a. Oh no, wait. Rebby Hardy did that. Do you remember?
Yeah. Well, yeah. So did Maurice.
Yes.
Maurice. In fact, honestly, Becky should do it to Miz. So Miz for his own gimmick.
Miz just sits up afterwards and is just like, so that's how that feels.
Wow.
Miz should absolutely pull a Christian Bale from The Dark Knight Rises. So that's what that feels like. Oh my God, yes. Oh wow.
From the chat room, a lot going on there. I love this one line on the West Virginia Canadian border, in reference to something earlier. I wonder who that's talking about. I
do know who that.
I have no idea who that's talking about. Tell me on the back channel. Let's see. Tina's calling out Asuka, the only true women's Grand Slam champion.
We need a different title for her.
Do we?
Yeah,
just give her one of the men's titles.
Well, no, we need like a different because here's Asuka's list. All right, Raw Women's Champion, SmackDown Women's Champion, NXT Women's Champion, Women's Tag Team Champion, Royal Rumble winner, Money in the Bank winner.
Yes,
he's the only one to do all of them.
You're right.
Oh, well, actually, wait. Yeah, she's the only one to do all of them.
Did she win an Elimination Chamber at any point? Or at it? No, she hasn't done Hell in a Cell, I don't think.
Wait, had she won the Chamber?
No, I don't think so.
No, because they've only had 2 women's Chamber matches, and they were for the tag straps.
At least in this era.
The tag straps and Shayna winning that one match. But yeah, so that's the only thing Asuka really needs to be like the septuple slam champion. But
and this is a time because this is the only time where one could do all those things, considering like one of those things has only happened twice at this point, right? And, well, even the women's Money in the Bank, I keep forgetting it's only been around for what, like 4 years.
Yeah.
Carmella
somehow won it twice. They actually say Carmella's a 2-time Money in the Bank winner.
Yep.
It's not her fault they had to redo the match, so she won twice. I mean, it's legitimate.
Technically.
Yeah.
Oh, but anyways, let's see. Bobby of J-Town saying, I wanted Asuka to grab both briefcases, but I also wanted her to hold on to the case and cash in on Charlotte at Mania next year for whatever title she has. Yep.
I like that Bobby's already assuming Charlotte's going to have a title.
Because let's be honest.
Bobby, if I were you, I'd be worried that Charlotte's showing up next Monday to take that belt from Asuka. So.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah. So we had a homework assignment from last week. First, Jacob's Lessons. Our friend, Professor Jacob Edwin. What?
Nope, not friend.
Not friend. Why not friend?
Because I saw this match.
So the match in question was one Goldust, returning Goldust apparently, against Randy Orton, and this is to get Cody Rhodes' job back. Apparently, there was a lot of it was an interesting setup because it was when Triple H was, of course, an authority figure. Go figure.
It was during the
really? I never would have guessed.
Yes, shortly after the SummerSlam, where Daniel Bryan won, only to be Money in the Bank and punted by Orton.
Yeah.
It was a great time. Was this the lead-in? Was this a just months before the ill-fated Royal Rumble incident in Pittsburgh?
I'm not
sure.
No. Is it?
Let's see what the date is.
Yes, you're right. Yes, that was heading towards the Royal Rumble because Daniel Bryan eventually got his shot and prevailed at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
But Batista was the one who won the Rumble. So
Yeah. So we're in that fun time. So
Let's call it the buzzkill era.
yeah, it
where,
really
like, they make you
was.
really want something and never give it to you. So.
Yes. So there was a lot of fun stuff happening there. But we got this Raw match with Goldust and Randy Orton. I think we already know Mad Mike's take a little bit. We'll deep dive in there in a moment. Tati, Matt, did you watch this?
Yep.
I did my homework.
You did your homework?
I'll let Tati go first.
Okay, so the match itself is really good, and the story that's being told is very compelling. Like, it was good wrestling to watch Goldust, like, trying so hard to be the better man for his brother, for pretty much for his integrity as well, because, you know, when you're facing off against an authority figure that's holding this massive thing above your head, your integrity comes into play whether you want it to or not. So it was good to watch, like, all the emotion that went into it, and of course thinking, yes, he's got it, and no, he doesn't. Oh no. Then of course you've got I personally didn't think the promo afterwards by Randy Orton was all that great, considering what he typically does. I thought it was one of his not one of his better ones, but, you know, it served its purpose. You know, talk trash on Goldust, make him feel worse for failing his little brother, and then of course say to Daniel Bryan, hey, guess what? You're a loser too. But the worst part, and this is the part that sticks out the most, was the promo afterwards.
Yeah.
With Stephanie McMahon. And, you know, with heel authority figures, they're always the bastards. They always take that one little step over the line. They always toe the line just a little bit too hard. And even so, it's still sucky to sit there and watch as this guy who's poured his everything he could to save his little brother fail, and then the authority figure goes, "Oh, are you disappointed? You should be." Like, it came across incredibly childish, which to a certain extent is the point. You were always supposed to see Stephanie as, like, the childish one in the authority couple relationship. It just still fell flat because it took away. It would have been better if Goldust had not seen anybody, or if he had been talking to an interviewer and just not said anything. Like, Goldust, you came up short tonight. What do you have to say? In my opinion, that would have been a better promo than Stephanie, you know, rubbing salt in the wound and saying, "Oh, go join the unemployment line." But
yeah. It was Matt, what about you? What was your take on it?
Were we supposed to watch all the way to the end of the video? Because when the match ended, I was like, okay, we're good.
the extra photo.
I don't
see any
blame
of
you
that
for not
stuff.
wanting to watch any more Randy Orton. I don't blame.
Well, I mean, I saw the match, so I mean, it's not like, and I saw Randy Orton cut his little one-sentence promo on Goldust, and I left. I didn't think I had to hang around for anything else.
See, Matt, it's like a Marvel movie. There's always a post-credits scene.
Always.
Well, okay, so we linked.
Next time I'll be more thorough.
We linked the YouTube link, and it had nicely packaged in the promo with Goldust before the match and the promo afterwards for some reason, and so it like the full story was there. So it was kind of nice to get a little bit of context other than just having the match for that. So
it was interesting because, like, I did not know exactly what place in time we were when we saw this match, and I'm like, have Cody and Goldust won the tag titles yet? Have they, you know, where are we in this whole thing? And so I didn't know what the outcome was going to be. I was like, does Cody get fired? Did Goldust win his job back? I don't understand. I don't know where we are. So the ending, you know, was a complete shock to me, and that probably enhanced the match for me a little bit. As a match, I mean, it's perfectly acceptable wrestling. The only thing that really elevates it are Goldust doing the crossroads toward the very end, and the stakes. Yeah, the stakes make the match. I mean, this is like the oldest lesson of pro wrestling, right? It doesn't matter. The fight doesn't matter. It's why they're fighting and what they're fighting for. So that takes two guys who are not going to do anything flashy, and are just going to like ground and pound, the whole way. I mean, did they even like get to the second turnbuckle on anything? No, probably not. And they just kind of it's a punch kick, it's Randy Orton, so you get a chin lock here and there, and it's just a match. But because of the stakes, and because they were fortunate to be in Canada, the crowd's really hot.
Toronto crowd.
It's got a lot of energy. So it was a fun match to watch. I also wanted to point out it had one of my favorite little subtle wrestling things that always kind of make me smile whenever I see it. It's like they get on the outside and like Goldust does something to knock Randy for a loop, and Randy kind of like turns away from Goldust and just swings at the air and then falls over. It's fantastic. So that was a good little thing.
I had some notes here. Again, I let's see. What did I write down here? I miss crowds. Check. Okay. It was almost surreal to watch a wrestling match with a crowd and with a WWE RAW era crowd again for me, and such a hot one with them. Because you look at like Mike was saying, on paper it's like it's an Orton match, grown, right? But it's just like, but people are, you forget how much people eat that up. People were into this match, and in person, or they're drunk. Who knows? They're Canadian. That's the thing.
Drunk, Canadian, and into the match in that order.
That's right. That's a good recipe.
I'd argue not everyone was into the match.
Enough people.
Like, the people that were face front on the hard cam side were dancing.
I'm going by how they sound.
They were dancing during a Randy Orton headlock.
Mm-hmm.
So that's roughly about 8 minutes of a match. But like, because again, this is Randy, like, this is Randy's style.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. It's supposed to be slow and plodding, but god damn is it boring. The story they're telling is very good. I appreciate the story. The false finishes were great.
Mm-hmm.
But what left a sour taste in my mouth was watching this right after being told on Raw that Edge versus Randy Orton could be the greatest wrestling match ever. And I'm looking at a match with him and Dustin Rhodes from almost a decade before this, and I'm like, oh honey, no.
Good response.
Yeah. And to echo what Tatiana said, the Stephanie thing, Stephanie is an authority figure for men.
Mm-hmm.
Always bothered me, not for the reasons you'd think, but because she would try to channel Vince so much.
Mm-hmm.
And she does a good job at that. But the reason that Vince worked was because people would get comeuppance on Vince.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he'd get a stunner every second or third week.
Yeah.
Whereas every single time Stephanie berated someone, they just had to sit and take it.
Mm-hmm.
And there was never any kind of retribution for it.
Yeah.
Or like when she'll hit a superstar and it's like, great, who's supposed to hit you back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because unfortunately the WWE is not pro intergender wrestling.
Yeah.
It's still women don't get hit by men zone.
Except for
it's
Dad.
Like, great.
Except for Dad, apparently.
And you like think about like the era that they're in.
Mm-hmm.
This is like, I mean, like I kind of jokingly referred to it as like the Buzzkill era, but think of like the sequence of events.
Mm-hmm.
Daniel Bryan just got turned on and screwed out of the world title. Cody Rhodes got fired. Goldust comes back, fails. I mean, there's going to be a sequence of Randy Orton, Daniel Bryan matches on pay-per-view that will end in one failure after another for Daniel Bryan, to the point where towards the end of the year, or the crowd turns on the product, and elevates Daniel Bryan. That's the end game, and that's the path WWE has set itself on at that point in history. They are turning the crowd against their company at this point.
It will end on Daniel Bryan's trainer and mentor, Shawn Michaels, turning on him for no fucking reason and no fucking payoff.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for that WrestleMania match, which honestly they could do, because we've seen Sean can go.
Yeah.
Oh,
boy.
Sean was not the problem in that match.
No.
There were 3 other problems.
And we're not talking about the time zone change. It wasn't jet lag. So with that, well, okay, that was great. So that was our first lesson, our first homework assignment from one Jacob Edwin.
If this next assignment is Randy Orton, I am copying someone's notes.
Well, we're gonna find out. I don't get a cheat sheet on this. I don't get the syllabus. I find out when you guys do. So let's take a look at what the next edition or the next homework assignment from Jacob Edwin is.
Hello, Wrestling Mayhem Show. My name is Professor Jacob Edwin, and I have another assignment for you. We're going to go back almost 30 years to Clash of Champions. Now, some of you might be really reluctant to do this, but trust me, because you're going to see a glimpse of the future in 1993, June 17th, Clash of Champions. The WCW Tag Team Championships are on the line in a 2 out of 3 falls match, with the Hollywood Blondes defending their championship against Ric Flair and Arn Anderson. I love this match because it's a great cross-section between the 1980s and the 1990s. Stone Cold Steve Austin would go on to be one of the biggest and best superstars and wrestlers in all of wrestling history. Brian Pillman would go on to have a very successful career. Arn Anderson and Ric Flair, some thought maybe their best years were behind them, but I think Ric Flair went on to prove that absolutely wrong, and Arn Anderson did his best and probably would have gone on a lot more were it not for injuries ending his career prematurely. So you get to see this great cross-section, and hopefully you guys are all sharp enough and bright enough to appreciate it. But chances are slim. Thank you, and I'll talk to you all next week.
Well, there you go. The latest. So I'm actually excited for that one.
Okay,
I want Professor Edwin to come back and berate Mad Mike for not appreciating Randy Orton.
We might have to work something. We might have to work something out for that. We don't know if he's grading us on these yet or anything like that. You know, now that we've sort of given our dissertations, if you will.
He just gave me whiplash because he said the words, "We're going to go back almost 30 years," and I went, "Oh, that's a while." They said 1993. I was born in 1996.
Oh, God damn it.
And I went, oh, my God.
Oh,
all right. Tatiana is ready for some fetus time wrestling.
I'm so
I'm like, oh.
Oh, man. Well, there you go. That is our homework assignment for this next week. What's that?
Oh, my God.
This is fun. I love this segment. And, this is great. It's another match. I don't know the outcome, so this is cool. I'm enjoying this.
It's a dark zone for me because again, you know, that whole pre 1996 WCW is still like I don't know it. I really don't know it.
I didn't have the Superstation.
I mean,
then,
I didn't have the cable, didn't have the Superstation. Like it's not part of me. So like this is new and it's something to really focus on.
I mean, if it makes you guys feel better, neither did I.
But that's you but that's also you with life. Okay, like we need to have a sit down about Nirvana, okay, or something, because I think it's our same era.
I know what Nirvana is.
Oh my God!
I was a hipster for about 5 minutes.
They did Ravens music, right?
Wow.
Oh,
come on,
right.
give me a little bit more credit. I was a hipster for like 5 minutes.
I'm just
yeah, but you don't have a hipster. I was a 90s flannel wearer.
Sorg, it's okay. We're all just the oldest people.
Tatiana, we were all wearing flannel, and there was nothing ironic about it.
No,
it was serious stuff back then.
We didn't have to be pretend hipster Canadians with the tag championships.
I wasn't wearing flannel because I was in Catholic school, so I wasn't allowed to wear anything.
You have an excuse. You have an excuse.
I have an excuse.
Listen, guys,
I wasn't allowed to wear anything.
Listen, I totally understand where you guys are coming from about seriously wearing flannel. I'm a technical theater person, and flannel is the religion there. So I have my share of.
by the way, Tatiana, if you want to do a deep dive onto wrestling outfits, just look back the takeover attire of Johnny Gargano. Because you know exactly what's going to happen in all of his matches just by looking at who he's cosplaying as.
Yeah, I know. Isn't it beautiful?
Great.
It's so cool. I love
took us-
costume theory.
It took us so long to realize it, too.
Well,
Way
I
too fucking
remember
long to realize it.
fun fact, going off of that real fast. Finn Balor, I knew when his last NXT thing was going to be because somebody mentioned that his last New Japan show that he did the Demon at, he did nothing but black and white paint. And when he showed up in black and white paint in his last NXT appearance, everybody went, "Ah!"
It's like the credits. It's like
He's
the
getting
credits,
called
man.
up.
It's the credits of a movie because it's only in black and white.
Yeah. And then he accidentally made a sequel, and
Well, you know, sometimes when you get dragged out, they drag you back in.
luckily it's one of those things where the sequel is better than the original.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just wait until Walter
For now.
can travel. Just wait until Walter can travel. Oh, I want to see that Finn Balor Walter match so bad.
Guys, it is that time of the show where we find out what you learned in wrestling this week, other than our homework assignment, I suppose. That can be a part of it. What'd you guys learn?
I learned that Titan Towers has a secondary roof.
Yep.
Yes.
And apparently it's well padded, so.
It's only 6 feet apart.
Right.
I mean, hey, a fall from 6 feet high, what's the worst that could happen?
Yeah.
I learned that it's not the best idea to talk about your ancestry if it doesn't have a wrestler in it. Grace O'Malley was awesome, but I'm gonna try to stay away from those waters.
She did it. She said it.
Oh, man.
Oh, boy. I see what you did there.
Oh, my God.
God damn it.
Oh,
I'm muting him. I'm muting him.
Sorg, we have to have one last thing for the hook, you know? Anyway.
We should probably paddle out of this conversation.
Mad Mike, what'd you learn? Jeez.
Oh, all right, Sorg, don't make me walk the plank here. Let me just tell you what I learned.
Son of a bitch!
I made him move the camera. Just see that, Matt?
Swap the camera right
that?
there. I just
He
saw
hit the table so hard it moved his camera. I'm
You guys
pleased
don't
with
see
myself.
that, but yeah.
I'm pleased with myself. I learned the thing I missed most about the Iconics. The thing I missed the most about the Iconics was not their promos, was not their wrestling, was not their facial expressions. It was their WWE exclusive videos after their matches.
Oh.
And they have another now that they're back, and it's just a treasure because they're just so delightfully weird, and I love them. Like, they're just very Australian, and hearing the New Day podcast makes me get it even more, and I love it.
Yes.
I can't wait for how salty their promos are gonna get.
Oh God. I like legit to this day being in the arena when they won the tag titles was one of my favorite moments. I legit cried.
You know, I wasn't allowed to be happy about them winning the titles because I was in a room with 3 people that did not like the Iconics. There were four of us, and everybody chose a team. And I said, you know what? It's not just because they're the last ones, but I love the Iconics. I choose them to win. And everybody was like, ha, that's not going to happen. And then they won. And everybody looked at me, and I was like, and they went, shut up. And I went,
and then you just said, you gotta be joking me.
well, there was also a very anxious dog in the room, and none of us were allowed to get loud because we would spook the dog.
That's fair.
The
Was
dog
the
dog.
dog
I
named-
just
was the dog named
realized-
Kayla?
Mad Mike witnessed the Iconics winning the tag titles. Sorg, I personally witnessed them losing the tag titles. Were you there?
Yes, I was.
They lost those titles in Pittsburgh.
Mosh Pit Billy Kay.
Freaking out on the ringside area
It was
after they lost, and they spent the entire commercial break just throwing a fit on the floor.
Mhm.
It was great.
I mean, that's amazing.
so happy they ended up using
The
that
remixes
on
to that are still some of the best things.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. The Iconics. If nothing else happens with the Iconics, for whatever reason, they have made their mark as the most delightful thing on wrestling.
No, the best thing is in like a year and a half when they turn face, they are going to be the hottest thing in the company.
Yeah, because it's happening eventually. It's the New Day arc, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
Sorg, that's exactly what it is.
Mhm.
It's the new.
Mhm.
It's the New Day arc. It's the Edge and Christian arc. It's exactly what it is. It's gonna happen at some point, and I am here for it.
Yes, same here. The other thing, we talked about this a little bit last night on the wrap up as well. But I learned. I love a good arc coming together. When whoever it was pointed out on this show about the everybody that fights Bray Wyatt and what happens to them afterwards, I feel like that was a Matt point out, maybe somebody else that was on the show. And you watch what happens to them. Daniel Bryan. People go off, and Seth was one of those. But watching the thread of Seth, maybe it hasn't been the greatest along that journey. But like looking at everything last night, watching the rise, the turn to Messiah, right, to the match that we got last week, to the distraught plus you're a father,
Sure.
handshake from
That's
Drew.
when the Messiah realized he could create life.
Oh,
You know what? He should take that and run with it. It's like,
He should.
it's proven, everybody. I bring life to wrestling.
yes, yeah.
Everybody goes,
I have created new life in this world. I am your God.
At some point, wow. At some point, there's going to be a
just
Seth.
Miz walks up from behind and says, yeah, you're not that special.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need like a real dad to go up to him and be like, dude, it may seem like you're the man right now, but you are not the man.
No,
Yeah.
You're not the man until you can.
He's not the man in his own relationship. Hello.
Well, I mean, for me, this whole Seth arc, it doesn't end until he is like reimagining the Alberto Del Rio entrance, except instead of a very expensive car, he is rolling in a minivan with like screaming kid in the back seat. That needs to happen.
I feel like Miz was. I feel like
Oh my
Miz was
God.
almost there.
By the way,
almost there.
guys, and obviously we don't know this yet. If Becky ends up having twins, they have to be named Dean and Roman, right? Like,
regardless of the gender.
That's where we're all at.
Because they can't be, because there's no guarantee that Seth won't repeat history on his own children.
That's my point.
I don't know what the names are going to
That's my
be,
point. That's my exact point.
but if he has twins, the initials have to be J and J. That is what needs to happen. So
Oh,
Matt,
I got it. I'm here.
no, Matt, I'm with you. J and J, their names, John and Joe.
Oh, there it is.
We did it, everyone. We did it. We
Or you
did that together.
just DM it straight to Becky because Seth is not allowed on your social media anymore.
No, he
So-
isn't. No, he isn't. No, he
The
isn't.
man who makes all the decisions.
Wait
We
a
all
minute.
did this
What
together, everyone.
wait a minute. Did Seth Rollins pull a Noir to be not allowed to your social media? Is that what happened?
Maybe that's just wishful thinking on my part, but yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, did he get that bad? Is he getting that bad?
Wait, what was his ban? Was it when he was poking at like indie wrestlers or something, or did he show his dick again?
I don't want to talk. I'm sure he means well, and you know what? He's having a kid. Please don't be too hard on him. Yeah,
That's
even
true.
I'm starting to feel sorry for Seth. So.
From the chat room, I think Tina learned that AJ needs a spotter.
Oh.
You probably didn't see that on the clips, right?
AJ also channeled Kylo Ren by going, Ray!
Yeah.
Ray!
Yeah. Baron will have 7 years of bad luck. Yeah, there was that. Also, I love that because to me that was kind of reenacting a no holds barred moment there. It's the movie. Also, I still believe that Vince was writing the script for No Holds Barred 2 on that piece of paper in the office.
Okay.
Nobody with me on that?
Sorg. Who stars?
Who stars in No Holds Barred 2?
Yep.
Cena.
No.
Dwayne.
No.
Cena's too big now. He's in a Transformer movie.
Thank you.
You don't know what happened behind the scenes.
I very intimate with Bumblebee. Bobby learned that Asuka is the GOAT. Charlotte is on every WWE show. There was something in here earlier about even 205 Live.
That really happened?
She even went back in time and appeared on Shotgun Saturday Night. Rey Mysterio isn't supposed to get stars in his eyes. And hey, Kayla, the Iconics are back.
Yeah.
Podner learned if you are people who don't like the Iconics, you need to leave.
That's true.
Doors that way or that way.
Yes.
That's
Maybe
entirely
that way.
factual.
Tina says he was finishing the booking for that very match.
Yeah. That's what
I'm
and,
sure.
and he was just like, "Oh shit, we're almost done. Who's the fat one?"
I feel like there's some joke about like the Booker pencil situation there too. So since it was like a pad of paper, so I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently the chairs being pushed in was an inside gag because apparently that is expected, and a known expected thing with Vince when you're in his office is to push the chairs back into their place.
And I'm sure it'll be on the next Dark Order segment.
Oh my god.
Inevitably. Tatiana Rose, thank you so much for joining us again.
Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure.
Where can people find out more about Tatiana?
I have an Instagram at the Tatiana Rose. I have a Twitter, Tatiana ___ Rose. And I'm on Facebook. I have a regular page as well as a page you can go and like, both under Tatiana Rose. Go and find me on all those things.
Catch up with her quarantine promos and watch the slow descent into madness.
It only took a pause for tonight.
Or did it?
I was gonna say, wait, this isn't the madness?
Mad Mike 4883 on the Twitter.
Yeah, you can find me there. I'm on Twitter. Also, go to tubi.tv. Look for Lucha Underground and get some goddamn Dario Cueto in your life.
And Matt Carlins.
Thank you very much, Sorg. Don't forget to check out the Listen to Your Parents podcast. And we'll see. Maybe someday Becky and Seth will be on. Who knows?
One day. Working on that. Make the call. Anyways.
Hey, Kayla!
Hey, Kayla! Make the call! Yeah. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody in the chat room all night long hanging out with us across the watch parties, the chat rooms, the Periscopes, the Twitches, the Twitters, the YouTubes. Thank you so much. We will see you again. We have a lot of streaming. Jag Off is streaming at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Musician and comedy to be announced. I haven't seen that yet. I think it was supposed to be a big surprise, I was told last week. They don't tell me these things. I just have to show up and make sure everybody sounds okay.
Mystery partner.
Mystery partner. Damn it! We should have had you doing that this whole time. It's like week 8 and we haven't done that yet. Fight Underground, the Honorable Fight Council meeting will be tomorrow night at 10 p.m. on the Fight Underground page. That got very controversial last week, so we'll see what happens this week. Tatiana has some thoughts on that.
What's the worst that could happen, Sorg?
That's for another show or promo probably. So that's the most awkward chat room moment I ever had. And also we will probably be back. I'm looking at 7:30 probably Thursday with the quarantine hangout. Who's going to be on? Who knows who's going to show up? I'll book it tomorrow. And of course, listen to your parents as mentioned. And we are going to have an RWA results for brackets C and D for the RWA 64 person tournament, interactive tournament over there. And Saturday night will be the Prospect Pro Wrestling watch along to replace the originally scheduled live show that was supposed to happen pre-quarantine. So lots of stuff happening. Tune in every night of the week for as long as we can do it. We'll see you guys next time. Mayhem out.
Bye.
All right. Thank you, chat room, for all night long. We will see you next time. We'll see you next time.